Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about building your email list, and more specifically, how building your email list and optimizing your email marketing efforts go hand in hand. So since we're talking about email, we obviously need to start with list building, right? Unfortunately, that's wrong, right? In fact, it's a common mistake. Here's the great big lie that probably everyone watching this training has been told one time or another in their career. The money is in the list, right? The money's in the list. Yes and no. Most marketers are so focused on growing their email list, and they've spent very little time or thought on how they're going to make money from that list once they have it. All right, so you need to realize right now that you're not in the business of collecting email addresses. You're not a collector. We all have the collector gene, but this is a time that you need to suppress that gene. Your job is to build an email list to add value and monetize that email list, right? Add value to their lives and make money for you or your company. So if you don't know how you're going to do either of those, why in the world would you start building an email list? Because if we're not collecting, but we're not emailing, then we're kind of in some odd limbo. So think about this for a minute. If we don't know what we're going to do with it, that means we're going to do nothing with it. And if you're not emailing an email list, then it dies, right? It's a living thing. The engagement goes away. In fact, if you go days without emailing a new subscriber, then they've already forgotten you. And the first time you email them, it's going to be interruptive, intrusive, and there's a much higher probability that they're going to mark you as spam and immediately unsubscribe than them engaging with you or your brand in any way, shape, or form. So remember, begin with the end in mind. It is a true chicken and egg scenario, right? We cannot focus on building an email list until we know how we're going to add value and monetize that list. So here is your number one priority: to determine how you will monetize a new lead or subscriber once you have it. And we're really going to flesh that out as we move forward in this training. Here are the two big mistakes that most marketers make when they're building their email lists. Number one, they fail to follow up with their new subscribers. Like I just mentioned, if you go days without following up with a new subscriber, then they've forgotten about you. You're just not that important to them, especially if you've just met. Think about this in traditional relationships. If you're out and you meet a new business contact or a new personal contact, and that person goes days without following up, are you thinking about them at that point in time? In most cases, if they didn't do something to just absolutely wow you in the very first meeting, then you're not, right? You're not. And with each day that goes past, you forget a little bit more about why you cared, who they were, why they were important to you, and what benefit you thought knowing them would have on your life, how they would enrich you personally or professionally. So when they text you or email you or call you next week, you're less likely to engage and be excited. Email is the same way, right? Think, as long as you're thinking traditional relationship, when you think email, you'll be a better email marketer. Just because someone is reading your communication behind a computer screen somewhere else and not with you, doesn't mean that the normal conduct of a relationship shouldn't come in mind. If you wouldn't do something face-to-face, then don't do it via email. And you wouldn't wait to follow up with someone new that you just met if you were excited about moving on and moving to get to know them a little bit better. So don't do it with your email subscribers. And the second biggest mistake, and this is a big one, people tend to send the exact same email to everyone on their list, no matter how they found them, no matter what they subscribed for, and when they subscribed or what they did after they subscribed. So if someone signs up to your list, they get the same email, and they continue to get the same email no matter what. This will cause people to lose interest in you and have you look very one-dimensional. And we're going to talk about how to avoid doing that in the lessons and videos moving forward. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about creating the perfect marketing calendar. Up until now, we've talked about all the different categories of emails, ways to send them, and goals of each email. But this next section, we're really going to break down how to put these together to determine who you're going to send them to, when you're going to send them, to actually help your company achieve whatever your goals are, whether they be monetary or other. So I'm looking forward to the next video. See you then.